Welcome back to Tao of Twang. I'm Dave. So we've got kind of a rock ballad type feel here. It's in three, so it's down down 1 2 3 F 2 3 boom boom and C. And there's our chords. Let's go through it again. Hold that C and a B flat. 1 2 3 1 2 3 F 2 3 C. Okay, so that's it for the chords. Now, this is going to be a two-parter, and it's kind of important to mention that right away with this one because that demo that you just saw, it's more of a map. And there were some licks in there, but after this brief discussion, I think if you go back and look at that again, you'll see very clearly where it switched from. We're going to be switching from major pentatonic to minor, and not in just an arbitrary way, right? But like at key points that feature chord tones that are happening in the progression at the times that we change it. It's not going to be near as complicated as that just sounded. Don't worry, right? Let's just get right to it, and I think you'll see this come together pretty quickly. There will be a several minutes of that backing track at the end of this video for you to practice with. So right away now, here's kind of how it opened up. Oh, okay, right on time. Okay, not note for note, but that's that pocket right there. Okay, so if we take that, we're not going to go, a chord for chord, looking for chord tones through this whole thing, but this little bit that I'm about to show you will kind of, apply all the way up and down the neck. These are the kind of the key features of that sound. So let's take it one chord at a time here. B flat. If I go, you can. That's the 9 of B flat, which is nice. A whole step above the root of that B flat triad. They're all major chords. Okay, and then here, the D would be the third for that, right? B flat D F. The root third and fifth for the B flat major triad. So both of those notes back and forth just work great over that B flat. And it's right in that kind of heart of C major pentatonic. So this isn't something that you got to go, hunting for, and they're not just, isolated notes. They're in that context, right? Then when we go to the F, that C is also a chord tone of F. Now, which one is it? F, A, C. It's the fifth for that F major triad. We love the fifth on Tao of Twang. So that's gold. Right? And a lot of the other stuff are just blues embellishments. Then when it goes to the C, obviously you could, your C is the root. But if that starts to sound exhausted, pretty quickly, and it will, if you always kind of, landing on that C, you can just, go right on up to another chord tone for C. Right? A minute ago, I just held that one up there, and I kind of, got out of tune, I noticed, or whatever. But, I did that so that you could see that I'm really holding that E, pushing it up to E, right? C, E, the third of C. So now that we've said all that, take a look at this. just happened. That's not in the C major pentatonic. Right. Well, let's look at it in the context that where it happened, right? It B flat, is what's going on. If that was B, it's just there. It's just the third and the fifth, right? It's also the fifth of that B flat major triad happens to be the note F, the root of the F. So that's a little, modification, right? When you get to the right now, it wouldn't be, depending on what analysis you're using, you could say, well, that F could fit into like a C major kind of, deal or whatever. But it's not gonna, be as hip. It's not gonna be cool if it's when it's over the C as much as it maybe just as a pass, right? But when you hit it with that B flat and then go into that F and then I'll show you here in just a second after the slide right up there, and it's the same pattern. Right up to that E, right? The third of that C, and you're kind of doing the same thing. Then you got a fifth and it's major pentatonic. Now, put that together, and when the putting it together part, it's like I said, it's not as complicated. Okay, now those two moves work great. So that's all. Now that's, get up here, you're back to, a pretty basic shape for C major pentatonic. Now, B flat, okay? If we're thinking C, there's a lot of C major being thrown around here. Well, in C major, there'd be a B natural if we were using, diatonic notes. You don't have to overthink this, but just to kind of, get on the right track with this move to minor pentatonic over the B flat, right? Now you've got a B flat in that scale. C minor pentatonic. So the long and the short of it on, where to switch is over the B flat and the F, feature more minor. Well, the major will work more across the whole thing. Because there's no seventh featured in that major pentatonic sequence. See, you don't have to deal with the B flat or the B, right? In the minor one, though, you're going to get chord tones, for that B flat and stuff naturally. And you're going to get just some nice, dirty action with that interchange. So, major. I did it. I did it according to the rules that we just created, and then I broke all the rules. Right? Maybe not all of them, but enough of them to prove a point. Is that it still worked? Right? It's not. Once you're in there, once you're surfing that wave and you're up on that board and it's on. It's beyond the thinking part, right? You don't you're in the moment then, right? And if you feel it and you can connect it and make the adjustments sort of, from more of a muscle memory kind of thing, then kind of thinking about what note you're on, that's where you're getting it, man. That's where the fun really starts. But the way to kind of train that and get that boogie board going and everything, all the steps up to that wave and being able to ride that thing, little component, parsed out parcel pieces like what I just showed you. So your routine on this is, warm up on C major pentatonic and then C minor pentatonic, but really uh, 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 start off at some point by kind of switching it deliberately to the minor when it's on the B flat to the F, and then go back to the major pentatonic over that C. And it's just so much fun because it all adds up, right? And then some of the chord tone stuff, like when we went, that's just kind of another modification. That's just one example of how, you got to get out of the box too, right? So we're always talking about how to get in the box, but you got to get out of there, at times also if you really want to build it and get some more tension, right? And it's not dissonant, we're playing literally chord tones of a triad right there. But you have to go outside of both of those two patterns to do that for just a second, right? So, that might be a bit much to integrate all of that, just in your practice right away. But switching back from that major to minor, you got to have that in rock and blues playing. All right, let me know how this goes. I'll talk to you soon.